Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. Thank you again for stopping by. Today, I want to do a little introduction to the first and second book of Timothy. I just want to give just a little, just give a description of these books, what they're about and everything. And I'm just gonna read these notes to you. And let's start off with First Timothy first. This book was compiled between 62 CE and 65 CE. It is agreed by both the narrative and scholarship that Paul was the author of this book, and he's the one that wrote this and the other to Timothy to give him instructions, encouragement, and other things. And Paul wrote this book to Timothy during his time in Ephesus. The city of Ephesus was one of the most important in the ancient world, being a major commercial center. Ephesus Ephesus was the home of the temple dedicated to Diane, or Greek would be Artemis, considered one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. This book is one of the three pastoral epistles, 1 and 2 Timothy and Titus, written specifically for ministers of those with oversight of the organized assemblies. Its lessons apply to all believers as well. While he oversaw the Ephesian assembly, Timothy had several issues to contend with, including Jewish error that would later develop into Gnosticism. That's a sect of heretical Christians who rejected the physical world and Yahweh of the Old Testament. Social issues in the assembly and qualifications of the leadership. Few essentials are more important than proper leadership. In this book, Paul provides the standards of character and behavior for bishops, elders, and deacons within the assembly. For the complete list of these qualifications, see, has a little chart on here. Without strong leadership, organizations suffer. This applies to families, businesses, and assemblies. Many of today's social ills can be traced back to the father's lack of leadership of the family. The same is true for New Testament worship and the credentials of ministers. So Paul's saying, it all starts with the lack of leadership, plain and simple. And everything's, it's kind of like letting the nuts run the asylum, so to speak. Now here's 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy was written between 66 CE and 67 CE. It is agreed by both narrative and scholarship that Paul wrote 2 Timothy. This pastoral letter is written to Timothy as the pastor in charge of the assembly at Ephesus while Paul is imprisoned in Rome during the reign of Emperor Nero. For Paul, this is particularly trying time for his ministry. Nearly 25 years after his conversion on the road to Damascus, he is alone with only Luke remaining at his side. That's chapter 4, verse 11. As persecution for believers in Messiah increases under Nero, Paul also has a concern of those assemblies that he once pastored. In response, he encourages the Ephesians to remain strong and to endure hardship and suffering. Chapter 2, verse 3. In addition to these difficult problems, he is also battling false doctrine in the assembly, including the belief that the resurrection has already happened. Chapter 2, verse 18. While Paul's ministry changed the lives of countless people, it is not without challenges. He is a man well acquainted with grief. For him, however, the goal was met. A crown of righteousness awaits him at the Messiah's second coming. Chapter 4, verse 8. While this book offers many valuable lessons, the one that stands out is courage in the face of persecution. While the first letter, Timothy, amounts to a charge, the second is a challenge to faithfulness in light of opposition. Many oppose the truth, and Paul encourages Timothy to stand firm. Even though most Bible believers enjoy relative peace today, this has not always been the case. Throughout history, believers have suffered abuse and death. Prior to the Edict of Milan in the 4th century, believers were often victimized by Rome. This persecution was also seen during the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century and throughout the Middle Ages. Prejudice and animosity against believers is still seen in the 21st century, including in Africa, the Middle East, and the Orient. Such persecutions is prophesied to occur again through the anti-Messiah. Revelation 13, verse 7. At that time, believers will need to stand boldly, knowing that their reward is worth any maltreatment they may suffer in this life, this temporary life, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, these are letters, to be, I encourage you to study these letters, check them out, diligently pray and study them, and just go by what the Holy Spirit tells you. Pray and pray and study. Keep studying those scriptures. Timothy, all of them, but both Timothys are very important too. He gives us great instructions and encouragement, even in the light of opposition and persecution. Now, that's all I really wanted to say to you. And thank you again for stopping by, and comment below. Hit the like buttons. Please subscribe. I got more content coming. And notification. Hit that notification bell. I'll notify you. You notify me. And we'll all be good friends. So with that said and done, I'm out of here. So peace out and shalom.